the Italians. But this is a different story. Let's look at this kind of world war because it includes a German, a Brit, a Belgian, and a Yankee.
Ah, yeah, Sticknick is British, right? Bliss is Belgian.
He's a British citizen, but I think he has some different origin, he told me, but not sure which it is. Let's say he's a Brit. I'm fine with it.
Some early fights and some really odd point switches. Actually, the usual bugged switches.
Yeah, exactly. When the point is there in the beginning of the map at 10 minutes, then it sometimes happens that it is there and moves for 5 seconds and returns to the point again to be there at 9:30 remaining. That what happened in our match, and Bax jumped down. He thought it had already moved, but it didn't move. He has to know the bug.
Small lead by RGC. Started out. Some back and forth. Not too crazy net damage differences.
All kills made by Bliss and all damage made by Rob. Rob has the net damage and Bliss has the kill.
The judge and the executioner. Point moving to main.
So we have, this week is the curious that it's the deciding week. I remember we talked about this last week when we had a commentary together.
I mean, it's the one that locks down the standings for most of the league.
Yes, first place has been decided in the last match. I kind of hope that they would have brought their A team. I know Deadrat is very motivated and I hope he sticks around, but he needs more experience. If they had played with Rise, who was just lazy like a sloth, like this lazy animal, it would have been possibly a win for Thoughts, because I was playing very badly myself. But Rice didn't care, just like a typical French Canadian. He betrayed his own team, complete treason. I can't imagine what's happening now between Bax and Rice. I think it's damaged forever, the relation.
I think he decided to join after he decided that his conscience wouldn't be bad when he's using cheats.
Yeah, that's also a problem with French people. It's true.
Rob gaining net damage and Bliss gaining some kills, but pretty even matchup, I'd say. At least for now.
I'm looking at the chat and Electrino is here. It's nice to see that he's around. I'm happy that he can be with us.
Nice. Yeah, welcome Electrino.
Rice is trying to make excuses that he's being pedagogical and wants his team to learn to be independent of him, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's worth it when it's about the first place in the Vertex League. Sometimes it's more important to perform than to learn.
I think he's blatantly cheating, so...
That's obvious, but they would have needed the cheating power of Rice to win against the cock.
That's true, you guys beat them. Point changed again. Good timing by Sticknick to die, which gives him a reset. Oh, some friendly fire.
You're right to focus on the game. Swanko is actually performing quite well because he has decent ping, in spite of not having as good internet yet.
Oh yeah.
He has some lucky minutes, it seems, because he told me that one of his neighbors, he's using the Wi-Fi of his neighbors, one of his neighbors is playing the Elden Ring, which is single player, and another of his neighbors is away for the moment. That's why he is performing this well, and he's almost making it work, so they are close to being equal.
Yeah. I think his ISP is forwarding his packets because someone is playing Elden Ring. They monitor the traffic, of course, of his specific household.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Also, perhaps his neighbor isn't downloading midget porn this time round, so they are lucky in that. No, what's the joke? Midget horse porn? I think there's some famous troll meme. Whatever.
This is. I have nothing to say about this topic.
Yeah, you can. Please don't commentate on this.
I really hope Sticknick will improve. He deserves it. He's so loyal and reliable. But his stats are telling a different story right now. I'm really sympathetic with Sticknick. He has been commentating. He's always good humor in spite of his stats.
Yeah. I like this. I like this stream. It was really calm and insightful.
Yeah, and joyous. He was very friendly, good humor.
Yeah, but he's getting his shit kicked out of him.
He is. His stats are speaking for him, for themselves.
And I wonder if I know RGC really they do retrospectives and stuff from matches, at least from what I heard. I wonder if they've done the same for 2v2, and that's why they can apply it so well.
It actually is a kind of a mixed team because we have RGX and RGC working together. It's like CDU and CSU in German and the two parties.
German reference right there. Yeah, I like RGX better. I like that it's caught on. I think it was a spelling mistake by either me or someone else, which I picked up. I mean,
actually, Wolfeye sent me a direct message once saying that they want to be RGX from now on.
Nice.
But
yeah, it's much cooler
they,
in my mind.
Change nicknames apart from Rob. Now Swonko is losing. I'm sure. He was a positive net damage. He lost about 300 net damage total in the last 3 minutes, trying to catch up with Sticknick.
Good double kill though, earlier. I think he has to get used to loping, really.
Yeah. I think I jinxed it when I said he's keeping it up and all chances for them to win the match depend on him. In that moment they were 5 points behind or 10 points and now it's 80 points behind. See, let's focus on the player, on the players.
Not too close. I think Rob is still really doing work, applying his experience from JKA.
I think that Swonko feels pressure to perform and to carry, and RGX can just stay defensively because they know that Sticknick feels pressured or resignated, and Swonko is jumping in offensively. He's doing some nice hits here and there, but I don't see him calm. He's playing like I'm sometimes playing, completely out of consciousness, just pressing the buttons to be offensive.
Yeah, I think he's relying on his teleports. Usually the enemy doesn't see you coming until he's right in your face.
But he does some nice wiggles there. Nice wiggle technique, and even coming back. Only 60 points difference now. As I say, it turns to 80.
Brutal execution by Bliss once again. And we can see that it's really Rob doing most of the damage and Bliss finishing them off.
It works for them. But Bliss has also increased her net damage quite a lot. This is a kind of a performance that might lead to being MVP of the week, but there is a strong competition, which is Helgor's performance in the first match of the week, which was against the Order of Peace. He got some 600 net damage average. Impressive. But Rob and Bliss are starting with a very nice performance, very convincing. I wish 999 had Legolas or Norbert here. Very strong players, but I think Norbert is working in some job where he has he has to be available to be called, and then if there's an emergency or something, he has to be present.
Ah, okay.
First round finished. After I was speaking about Sticknick, his performance increased actually. He had a minus 500 net damage early on, and then he just dropped by 150 more, so he slowed down the net damage thing, but Swonko couldn't keep up. I think if Swonko had kept up the nice performance of the first 5 minutes, they would have maybe even equalized.
I think he's feeling the pressure that Rob really applies. And all kinds of factors probably. His ping being well, playing against Rob and Bliss, who play really well together. And, it being Sunday, probably recovering from a hangover of any sort. Excuses are there enough.
Yes. FA3. Now you have to know, is this Tatooine or Corbin? I'm never sure with his numbers.
It's Tatooine.
Long time ago since I last played.
Korriban should be FFA 2, Taspir is FFA 5, and Rift is FFA 4, if I'm not mistaken. I think 1 is Vijin.
They usually play Tatooine, so it shouldn't have been a surprise for me that they picked them up. And Rob is playing again. It seems like they want to...
They really want this win.
And he hasn't played the first week, so now they give him a prime spot, so he can play continuously. Although they have 4 players here, they should usually play Halo X Wolfeye now, but
I think
choose to go with Rob.
Yeah, they just paid too much money for him. They can't afford to not let him play.
Yes. It's basically Neymar. It's the Neymar of Vertex. Did you see the transfer? It was like 224 million for, I think, Paris Saint-Germain, this football club. I'm not much into football, but sometimes you hear some details.
I only know that he's a very valuable player. Not more. I don't know anything about football.
Didn't he play in the match where the Germans won 7-1? Or was it the World Championship where he had the injury at his spine? I don't remember. I didn't even watch the 7-1 match.
Okay.
Not sure if you watched it.
No, I didn't.
Why is Wolfeye not playing? Surprising.
Okay, they swapped Rob for Halo X. Rob left for some reason. Ah, okay, perhaps... RGC do know they can swap players, right?
Yeah, they have done so in the past. They would have had to have amnesia. They would have had to have... No, I'm not sure how to construct this grammatically correctly. Maybe some of the Yankees in the chat can help.
Yeah.
How to construct this sentence. They would have had...
Would have had to have
I don't know what I
amnesia or
said.
something.
Maybe nobody. They exactly, yeah, they would have had to have amnesia. You need the top hat guy, the musician guy now. Where is he? At supper, I suppose.
Yeah, he's taking the break. I'd like to have as well, but
I presume he's having supper. Like 90% of the day.
you have to stay.
I will be right back.
You have to stay healthy and supper a lot throughout the day. First, second, third, and so on. Right, heading into the second round. Hoping that it's going live. Let's see, last time we saw early fights. I wonder if they are still, or again, looking for early fights. See gathering in main. And we have Swonko approaching. Not sure if it's wise to face 1 against 2. And they predicted the spawn. I think a lot of the time in this map it spawns here in main. Guess it's down to the algorithm. Strong early kill by Swanko. And let's see if they do much better if Rob isn't playing. Quick return, and again, risky play by Swanko. I don't think there's a reason to fight here. Unless he's absolutely sure he can apply damage without taking too much. But Halo X doing the same. Standing Swanko and do this guy. He would have been an astronaut in another life. Same back and forth we saw last match. And it's literally one player getting killed and then the enemy single player facing the two others.
How's it going?
Similar to last game, but no team has yet built a lead. It was always 1 versus 2 basically. One team killing the second teammate and then the one person going against 2.
I think there are different schools of thought. Some people would say the guys who are not performing on top, they just need some training, they just need some feedback, and others they would say it's a question of talent, because nobody in the community can be as good as Gok, so he's definitely talented. I'm not sure, like, what's needed to give, for example, Sticknick, who's been in our community for like a year now, some critical...
I think it's... At this stage it's really just about the time you can play, the amount of time you have, free time you have to put into the game.
Yeah, that might be also one factor. I'm looking into the chat, nobody's really writing something new. What's happening?
Nothing new, I think. We have Swanko with positive net damage this time. Eloax positive as well. And pretty even kills and even points. I think it will be down to who switches targets better. And then gets in more backstabs.
I like to see it close, and I like to see Swanko performing well. He deserves it. He's a strong player. His stats have been really bad for a long time, just because of his internet, but he could easily be one of the top 10 players, I think. For Swanko, but at the same time I'm not, because he's lazy. He should have made the call to the internet provider earlier.
Yeah, but I think that's like a lesson you have to learn in life, to deal with your stuff early.
Sure. Like the kill right now on Sticknick, he just blocked. He likes to block, but he blocked while Blizz was in his face. He needs to know the mechanic, I think. He needs to know how to do that you can't block in proximity. Basically just gifted the kill because he didn't evade but trusted in blocking when there was no reason to trust in it. But his movement has improved. I remember back in the day Sticknick was the guy who never jumped and always blocked. Now he's doing nice W8 into D combis combination. He has improved, definitely.
It looked like a team kill, but wasn't. I think Blizz is doing some team damage. She might have to watch out for that. And again, I've stated when you were gone, Swanko is... okay, now he's backing off, but he's fighting against 2 people constantly.
I'm not sure, since 999 is a very small team, how much effort they have put into tactics. There are other teams that are very constant, or they have continuous activity, like ACDC, your team, and my team. I guess also S2D if there's not a war going on. But 999, they really need some more active, the basic players, the standard lineup.
Yeah.
Be nice to have. And good kill by Sticknick, look at that. Ah,
Yeah,
almost got.
still a really solid lead by RGC.
Good luck. I'm watching Sticknick. Doing a lot of good things.
On a spectating as well.
Almost could assume that it helps him. He already has double the kills he had first game. 2 kills. Let's go. I want to see a third round. You don't want to because you want to warm up for your match, which is very important. It's deciding about third place, right?
Yes. I'm not gonna comment too much on it. Because, yeah, we're about to play.
I wish there was some commentator so I could commentate with him. I guess Trino is not available, which is completely understandable, and Tony himself will play. Maybe Bax is there? I will ask.
Yeah. Just let me know. I'll record without sound if there's no stream. I mean, I'll stream without voice. Annihilated by Blizz. But only 10-point lead for RGC. 999 really catching up. Halo X with really positive net damage. And a really high ping, once again. I mean, we're used to seeing that from him. And I think Swonko really needs to activate his own teleporting to counter Halo X's teleporting.
In the past, when Halo X has started teleporting, it usually went in the favor of the opposing team, but maybe this is some special situation. But Bliss is not performing as well as she did first round. She had almost 300 net damage positive, I think. Now she's at minus 150. Not sure what changed. Definitely what changed is that Sticknick is starting to do some kills.
I always have the feeling that your own performance is heavily reliant on your teammates. Even if you're doing super well or super bad, it always has to do with who you're playing. If they keep your back free, or if you can pressure properly, and so on and so on. Several factors. So even if you're doing super well in a match, I think that isn't really only down to yourself. Unless you're, of course, like the best player in the world.
And I think that's good. I think it should be this way.
Yeah.
Otherwise it would just be the sum of, you know, this famous Aristotelian saying. I mean, it's not really from Aristotle. I once wrote an essay as a student about it, but the whole is more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
It also applies. It's a complex philosophical matter to understand the relation between the whole and its parts, which is called mereology, the philosophical branch of the investigation of wholes and parts. But this is like basic knowledge. And sometimes the whole is more than the sum of its parts, and this is also true for Vertex.
Yeah,
teams.
I'm very interested in the investigation of holes. Got him. I'm doing a physical, a PhD in it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Sorry.
Doing an investigation of these nuts.
Yeah. Sorry for the cheap jokes.
Yeah.
We have to keep it light because in these last 30 seconds we can't discuss deep philosophical questions. But the question of whether 999 will stay in the game or RGC take this win.
It's closer than last round was, but Swonko has the no, there it's 10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. We need 5 kills right now, which is not possible.
It's not. So RGC take it home. Congratulations to RGC. But I think Legmeisters did better than several other matches before.